So you guys are actually like, I'm going to hire you as marketers because you're hitting all of those terms that we try to hit in some of these episodes. So reducing risk, errors,
Yeah.
saving time, saving money in turn, making the decisions faster. So yeah, all of those points are great. And if I was a customer, I'd buy from you guys. John, I know you wanted to pick Casey's brain about Cornell. Do you want to take that time now to do
Yeah.
that? Okay.
Mr. Casey, sir, tell me, so you're in a program for system engineering, and I know you're taking a lot of SysML and BSc classes. Are you guys talking about digital engineering? Are you talking about what to do once you have a model?
So the interesting thing is, I just got back 2 weeks ago from Ithaca. Got a chance to meet the professors. All my classmates had a great time, and believe it or not, that's the first question I asked my professor. So pretty much leads the entire program. And I'm like, hey, sir, the new hotness right now is digital engineering. What is Cornell, bringing to the table? So he referred me to a digital twins class, and maybe taking that up in the future. So as of honestly, from what I've been able to see from what we're working on, John, I actually think we're significantly ahead in terms of what we're trying to do, right? What we're trying to do is extremely hard, and we're kind of at the bleeding edge of building our entire system model up, building out, documenting the processes, and trying to figure out how do we take it to the next level? How do we integrate this stuff all in together with the digital environments, the analyses, things like KPPs. So I think we're significantly ahead with that. But to answer your question specifically, John, I think they're still kind of working through it a little bit.
Copy that. Yeah, and actually, I'm gonna roll back the clock 9 months, and I got the opportunity to meet John, and I had this same question. I got the SysML, the MBSE side. I had the system engineering practice, the process. I understood, but I was like, what am I've got this. What am I know I can exploit this, but how do I do that? And actually, it was John, it was your grad school work at Georgia Tech that really was the first time I saw someone utilizing that, right? And showing the workflow of being able to read that data. And I think you may have even done your project in SysML 2.0, and now I can't, but you also showed me how you were pulling information out of a 1.x model in R, right? So it was just like, it just felt like I'd been looking for this, like the true step beyond MBSE. And like John was the first person that really, I got to, like, I saw it and I was like, this is it. This is where we're going. So.
Well, on the opposite end of that is he's the first guy that I showed that to that said, wow, that's really neat. Most folks are thinking I was Potato Head. I'm like, guys, this is awesome. You don't even know what you're looking at here. And nobody got it. John was the first guy to get it. So it worked out nice.
I may still be a potato head, but I guess time will tell, right?
Well, I was the potato head. They were kept calling me potato head.
All right. No, I mean, that's probably like there's at least one, if not multiple podcasts, that just like quick demos of showing what it looks like, right? So, John, your grad school project, even the presentation you just did to JPL, right, of enabling Docker and Scilabs, right, to be available for those analyses, right? So I think there's a lot of information there, and trying to condense them down in 30 minutes maybe a tough task, but there's definitely several follow-on things we could talk about there.
Well, we could talk about Slab sometime, and that's really the goal there, is to put all that stuff up in there and show it. Actual real demos, not this slide deck on PowerPoint where they say, hey, we're doing all this, we're doing all that, and you find out they're really not doing any of this stuff. It's all kind of just nice pictures and looks cool, but no such thing. So we got to start really producing something to show.
Yeah, I think if we can get the permissions, if permissions are needed to do like product demos, then I am all for it. I think that would be some cool content, and definitely different than what, like you said, it's not a presentation, it's an actual product that we're showing. All right, so in the realm of digital engineering, what is AVIAN doing right now? Are we doing anything, any type of work? I know I'm hearing from you guys it's very new still, we're on the bleeding edge. What type of stuff I'll say is Avian doing?
Well, I mean, I'll just go ahead and say we are putting. I mentioned Slab. I was going to repeat and tell you what that was. Slab is a systems lab. We're putting that up on AWS right now, and it started off with OpenMB, which is a really great tool out of JPL that a lot of folks are using in production. Lockheed and Boeing, guys like that, big boys are using it in production. So we have a working instance there of OpenMB, and we're following on with a Jupyter Hub setup. And then that's where we kind of start integrating SysMLv2 in Jupyter Hub or Jupyter Lab. And then we start integrating actual analytical tools to start flowing requirements and models from SysMLv2 through that little workflow that we talked about a minute ago. The lab's going up slowly. We're kind of doing it in our spare time now. I did hear that we have some interest from some higher ups, so there might be some money. I think there is money. And I want to start spinning it. So it'll go a little faster now, I hope. But that's what I'm working on. I think that's what we're working on too. I think, John can talk about decoy. I think that's another important.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll actually tag on to the slab. So John mentioned it. I'll just say it from another perspective. We're doing a lot of innovation, right? So we're doing this for our customers at the Navy Marine Corps. In the aviation sector, but with innovation comes a lot of resistance, right? We're going against a lot of common processes, a lot of practices. We believe we're achieving the same end result, right? But we're coming up against, no, you shall not do it this way, or no, you have to do it this way. We're saying, well, ours is functional equivalent, same result. It's even better, right? So it's even. But so what we want to accomplish with the slab is to actually be able to go faster, right? So instead of trying to bring a new tool into a very secure environment, right, that you get with DoD customers, of course, cybersecurity is important on your environment, but sometimes you want to know if you want to take the hassle to time to actually bring a tool into that environment, right? So what our setup does is enables that testing to occur, right? So we can sit down and say, okay, here's 3 requirements management tools. 1, let's see how well they integrate with the rest of the environment, right? We talk about digital engineering, right? That stitch, we got to stitch it in with the other tools. 1, can you do it? 2, what's the integration, right? And then 2, we can do a trade study, right? We can sit there and say which one does requirements management better. And then 3, we have the result, or we have all 3, however many integrated. We can go and show, hey, how does this integrate with this specific PLM tool or a digital twin or some other software, right? So what this allows us to do is we have we're not trying to select one tool. We want all the tools, right? We want to integrate all these tools in one environment, have almost like an a la carte selection. So if you want to, a customer comes up, you want the lowest cost possible digital engineering setup, right? Oh, great, we've got that. A lot of great open source tools out there. We can show you how to stitch all that together. Someone else comes and says, hey, we do want to minimize costs, but we've got to use Team Center, right? We've already got our whole company up on Team Center, a PLM tool. So I need to integrate these other things, but I have got to use Team Center. It's like, all right, great. Here you go. Or the I guess the best performance case, right? Like I want the best software there is, right? So we can go through, and of course, if money's no object, we can get all those licenses in. We can show you how to build that environment, right? And then once you have all your tools selected, we can also then you can secure it, right? So instead of trying to bring these tools in, it's like, hey, do I want to use this one? Do I want to use that? Now we have that playground for you, right? That you can come in, simulate all your workflows, the different phases. If you're in the mission engineering, mission analysis phase, or maybe you're in sustainment, right? And you want to see what an ECP looks like. That's what Slab allows you to do. Just a low-cost lab, and of course, I mean, really, besides the integration, the cost is there is the license, right? Just depends on what software you want to use. And then, John, you mentioned Decoy. At Avian, we've stood up in the beginning of this year our Digital Engineering Center of Excellence. So we have everyone working across all of our customers, all our contracts. We have a centralized core group of people that come together, and we talk about digital engineering. We talk about models, system engineering practices. Hey, how did you go about doing this? Or here's this modeling pattern I found. What do you guys think? Just this last week, in which another great podcast, right? We talked about digital acquisition. How does MBSE and digital engineering fit in the digital acquisition picture, right? And we came up with this great idea. Like everyone had a different perspective, but when we came together, we sat down and was like, oh wow, this really melds well with this, right? So don't want to give away the secret sauce yet, so stay tuned for that episode.
Yeah, I think that would be a great episode.
But yeah, so Deco, again, so we're going through and we're bringing all these, again, in our industry, you get a contract, you get placed on a team, and you may not see your other AVIAN employees just because of the way a contract's set up, a team's organized. What this is, it not only brings us together to discuss it, but it also gives you reach back support. So you need to talk to John about digital engineering. You got to talk to Casey about a specific SysML diagram. Rest's not with us today, but that's another great wealth of SysML knowledge there, right? Like it gives our personnel reach back support and just greater level problem solving, right? And also it enables a consistent a solution space, right? So that way, as we go forward and work different programs, having that same methodology, those same principles, practices spread out, like it actually enables similar projects to be solved in the same manner, and it also enables a higher level of collaboration in the future between those programs.
Yeah, definitely. You kind of touched on the fact that everyone's dispersed on this digital engineering team, and I think that's a major selling point for us, is that you don't have to live in the Pax River area where our headquarters is at. John Slager is down in Tennessee. John DeHart's down in Georgia. I don't know where Casey's at, actually.
He's in North Carolina.
North Carolina, okay. But yeah, all over the place, right? I don't know if there's anybody on your team that's actually in the Pax River area, is there? Besides Jeff Davila, who's the program lead.
Yeah, no, that's correct. I think all of us, and even on our customer side, right? What with SVL, Vito Foss being a modern digital program, like of course there's always a need for classified sensitive information, right? That you have to go to the right spot. But other than that, like we mentioned Agile before, so like even before COVID, we were doing all this. We had a pretty remote team, or at least a flexible, location. But with COVID, like it really didn't impact us at all. We were already set up. Everything was digital. Our environment was digital. We had access. Even as we've gone through and added industry partners for specific risk reduction efforts, like we've all been working in the same environment, right? Different methods, either direct connection, VDIs. It's as we come across the different unique situations, right? There hasn't, some of them taken longer than others to solve, but there's not been a situation where we haven't gotten a partner we need to collaborate with into our environment.
Right. All right. Awesome. So I think we may have lost Casey, but that's okay because I'm going to wrap it up here anyways. Oh, he's back. Okay. Casey, do you have anything to add at the end here? I don't know if you heard everything we were saying.
No, a lot of troubleshooting here on my end.
Sorry about that.
Nothing to add in.
Awesome. All right, so we will wrap it up here. John, Casey, thank you for joining me today on this special episode of the Model Vision podcast covering digital engineering. I think there's a lot of great information here about what digital engineering is and gives folks a taste of what to expect as we dive deeper into this, I'll say, newer capability and one that's definitely going to be growing rapidly very soon. So again, thank you guys very much, and I will see everybody next time.
Yeah, thanks guys. That was fun.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Model Vision podcast. If you want to learn more about digital engineering, you can visit avian.com/digital engineering. That's avian.com/digital-engineering. Thank you again for watching the Model Vision podcast. I'll see you guys next time.